Well, we've been teasing it long enough. Time to start working on this hot rod. Dan here, Diddy Speed Shop. So I have had a couple of Camaros for a while. Man, is this car ever petite. So a couple of years ago, I bought two Camaros, a 67 and a 68. The 67 is, as you see, it was someone's pride and joy. Kind of a runner driver, somewhat complete. There is a motor in it, there is a transmission, there is a rear end. And it looks like time got the best of it. You know, it needs a little bit of love, a little rough around the edges. I wasn't actually planning on working on this thing until later on in the year. We were going to go on a little road trip down south, and ultimately there's a heck of an ice storm. The I-29 was closed 4 or 5 hours straight south of us for the whole, right from the border on, so we didn't go. We were going to go beat up Mortsky and all that. Didn't work out. So instead, brought this home. Now, again, there was two. This one and a 68. This one is kind of as it sits. It's missing some interior bits, but otherwise rather complete. The 68 had been stripped, had some quarter panels put on, some floor work. The front end was rebuilt, but mostly kind of apart. And that's all fine and good. I'm not a huge Camaro aficionado, but what I do like is wing windows. I'm a believer in that, and I know 67 doesn't have marker lights in the quarter or the fender. I like that as well, so this is the car we're going to go with. I don't know what I'm going to do with the other car. People have been hounding me how much I want for it, selling it, all that. I don't know what I'm doing with it, so let me put that out there. It might come home and patch it together, or it may just sit out there for a little bit. I'm not really too sure, but nevertheless, I want to make sure I have this one complete. Then I can see what's left and go from there. Now the deal was to buy this car and the other one. They had to come in a pair, and it had to have all the stuff that was with it. So the guy had collected a pile of parts and just never got around to doing it. So I have fenders, doors, quarters, cowl hoods. I have extra grill pieces. There's an interior, there's seats, there's stuff everywhere. And some of it's here, some of it's in storage, and some of it is still a province over because I haven't managed to get all of it. Driveline, there ain't much. This one has a motor in it, but it's been like sitting open in the elements. It's going to be junk. So feel free to leave a comment below as to what you think. And or if you're local and have some stuff for a discounted price, I really want a blower car. Maybe this will be it. We'll see how the old budget goes. So obviously front end stuff, we'll go through that. I'm sure it's going to be cheaper to put on tubular control arms, disc brakes, you know, just rebuild the whole deal, be done with it. There's only 4 bolts that hold the front end on, so some new body bushings there, and that'll be taken care of. We have fenders, we have hood, that's all bolt-on stuff. We have doors, brand new, that's all just bolt-on stuff. The roof appears to be in decent shape. I don't think there's a whole lot to worry about. Around the windows looks okay. That's always kind of a problem area on, you know, kind of hot rods, but I think it's decent. I mean, I can't complain. I did smash the windshield on accident, but hey, what are you going to do? So that's all there. This does have 3 pedals in it already. It's got some of the dash stuff, you know, and there's that. The real issue we run into, quarter panel, obviously they're both rotten. Inner wheel tubs, inner and outer, not great. Lower rocker, kind of the back, and then some of the inside structure, not so hot. And the trunk, same thing. We have a little bit of wheel well rot. There was a little bit of trunk rot, but really, it's actually not that bad of a car. It's a very buildable car in my mind. What's wrong with me? The older I get, the worse a car could be and the happier I am with it. I have a spare trunk lid for it. Really, it's not going to be a big deal. What I do want to do, yeah, this side's been kind of partially taken apart. I have another set of doors with all the glass in them, so all the mechanism and all that, so we should be okay kind of here forward. Now what I want to do tonight, or maybe even tomorrow, we'll take all the stuff out. The nice thing about Camaros is I'm starting to find out They're expensive to buy, but cheap to buy parts for. Sheet metal wise and all that is very reasonably priced. You can't really go wrong. They are power steering cars, and both of them have power steering boxes, and we can put power brakes on them, so it'd be nice drivers, right? Yeah, I've wanted a Camaro forever. They're definitely not going to stand out as much in the crowd. I mean, I'm sure we'll do something fun with it, but they are rather common, but they hold some value, and I've never built one, so let's do it, right? Hopefully it'll be popular with you guys, and everyone will enjoy watching it. I don't know if this one has or not, but it has half floor pans, so you can put kind of half pans in. Same with the trunk, it's all available. What I want to do is take this all out, kind of get my eyes on it, and decide what I want to do. It does have quarter panel skins that came with it, so they would join kind of somewhere around here, maybe even loop over. I'm not really too sure. I don't know if I want to do that, because this up here isn't, well, she's not the greatest. And if I buy a full quarter, I'm assuming it'll join somewhere in there, somewhere up through here and across, and we'll have the whole piece, which will probably be a nice panel. A full floor I saw is very cheap. Put that in there, and then that's like 100% brand new. And this being a 67 is a little unique, I guess, with shock placement, the research I've done. But you could probably put a 68 rear floor pan and tubs and all that in there. And we can do like a mini tub kit. And while you're in there, you might as well. It's kind of the way I look at it. It looks like a fairly simple job. Put a whole trunk plan in with wide tubs, put a big tire in the back, and very reasonably priced. I'll get more pricing tomorrow, but I kind of have in my head, if I can spend a couple of grand, which I know is not a small amount of money, but it is a 67 Camaro, and ultimately I have all the pieces needed other than driveline and consumables. To spend a couple of grand, put a brand new floor pan in it, brand new rear trunk floor, and wheel tubs, and then we can decide how much the quarters are going to be from there. Maybe we'll do a full quarter on one side, not on this, you know, it all depends. And realistically, I gotta think a running, driving Camaro is a very valuable vehicle, so it's probably worth spending a few bucks on. It sure does look cool, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what direction I want to go, so hopefully you guys can kind of help me out with that. But realistically, for the next few weeks anyways, we'll be bouncing between this and that 57 hardtop in the other garage there. But my goal is to kind of turn this into like a Dynacorn shell, you know. Metalwork done, you know, all new black panels, all the E-coat stuff on it. Then we'll have a decent little car. Then from there we can slap a rear end in or change the spring rate or all those things we want to do. The brakes, do we want to build as a roundy-round car or a drag car or a what? And kind of carry on. Now, what I'm going to do is pull everything out of this, and we'll get a really good look in here and just see what the deal is. The floor is what scares me. I let it kind of dry a little bit. I'm trying to avoid lying in a puddle, and so we can pull the hoist over and get it up in the air, but let's just get everything out of it. We'll air it out. We'll see what we need. I might even bring all the stuff I have out of the basement, because I don't even know what I have, but I have a lot. I also think I have a set of steel wheels, dog dish caps, and wheels and tires. Always make a car look cool. So let's take this thing apart, see what we end up with. This car's pretty nice. Yard sale all the junk out, put the vacuum out, and yeah, so I should say, when I bought these cars, it was through a friend who had looked at the cars once. They were behind a towing yard in a goat area, so goats were all like goat shit everywhere on this thing, standing on the cars and everything. And it was, the guy was, do you want them or not kind of thing, you know, which is understandable. They weren't actually for sale. It was just, hey, you knew of them, you ask about them. The guy's like, here's what it is. I'll give you everything in this shed. Here's all the parts, and here's the price, yes or no. Obviously, you can see where it went. And that was a 9-hour drive away from me. Through a couple of texts and pictures, I said, do it, and I wired the money, and that was it. So I really didn't know what I was buying, and ultimately I'm pretty happy. So it's had some floor pan repair. but not too bad. There's a little bit of structure underneath. I don't know what that looks like. I'll have to get in some magazines and see, but that's been torch cut out. Everything else is solid. Tunnel's good. It's had the front floor pans down on this side. I'm gonna say kind of crudely, but I bet they're pretty cheap to put new ones in. The back pans, this side is pretty good. That side's a little chewed up on the corner and the side there, but I mean otherwise, I mean for what I'm used to, it's pretty nice. All the structure back there looks decent. What else? How many more times am I gonna say that? The trunk floor, honestly, those are fine all around there. It's good. It's just this area, which is not great, and it looks like there's probably a brace, but I assume that's probably just for the fuel tank. So I bet if you just get this pan, I might be able to get away with that. It has had rockers, or sorry, not rockers, quarter panel skins put on at some point. You can see right there, there's a seam, and it looks like they cut it out and just kind of welded or glued it or whatever they did on top, and then just schmoed it full of filler. So kind of an unfortunate repair, but I mean, it's irrelevant. They're wore plumb out. The inner tubs actually don't look as bad. I don't know, I think they're livable myself. So here's the only thing that's kind of unfortunate, and I mean, I don't know if they sell this patch panel. I mean, they might. It's Camaro. The lower kind of door jamb area is completely finished, which goes into the sill, and the sills are structural on these things, but they're not bad of shape on the bottom. There's a couple of holes on the side, but honestly, I mean, hard to complain. I found the glass. This is obviously some sort of a repop door they were starting to work on. The glass I put somewhere else. We'll get to the hood tomorrow. But what I want to show you is underneath this thing, because where's my creeper? Why? I stood it up so I don't stand on it and fall. Is shockingly good. Like, I don't know. Maybe you Camaro guys see something I don't, but so fuel tank, obviously, who cares? Put a new one in. But frame rail wise, I mean, it's got some crunchy rust on the outside. It's solid all the way up there, both sides. And at the back, usually they rot out. And we'll have to take it apart and see. But honestly, I don't think it's that bad. I mean, a little crunchy right at the back there. But when I did my Nova, it was roughly the same. I just kind of took that apart, plated it, and put it back together. Haven't had a problem. Obviously, trunk drop-down's junk. Somebody at one point said this is a Chevelle rear end, which makes sense because it's got the top bit there, just a 10-bolt dealie, I guess. Open rear end. And then over here, actually, you can get right in there. The bushings are sacked, but not bad. The very back might be rotten, but I bet they sell just that section. But like that's paint on that side. Trunk floor's a little crunchy up against the wheel tub, which makes sense. And yeah, the shock bracket and all that. I mean, that's the floor pans. They're actually not bad at all. And this is the front of the frame section. Again, all in decent shape. Yeah, not too shabby as far as I'm concerned. Now, let me get out of here. So that being said, I'm still gonna go see what it'll cost to make this car kind of nice. I am a believer after doing those wheel tubs on that 57. It did make for a really nice repair, and quite. You can put a big tire on it, right? I don't know what you can fit on for a tire on a Camaro. I would assume that the wheel tubs would just go right up to the frame and give you an extra 2 inches, but I don't know. These have been schmucked with a bunch of stuff, so we'll see. At this point, it wouldn't so much be a repair as it would be like an upgrade, and I think probably a lot of guys You get a Camaro, you know, you want to put a big tire on it and all that stuff. I know I would. And now it's time to do it if the price makes sense, obviously. If not, then we won't be doing that. But overall, pretty solid car. Pretty happy with it. We'll go over under the hood tomorrow. I'll go through the basement, start bringing parts out, go through that, and I'm going to stop by and talk to my sheet metal man and see exactly what he has and recommends and all that sort of stuff. The only, I mean, wheel tubs be ugly, but they wouldn't be that bad if we take the whole quarters off, trunk drop downs, and carry on. So that's really it for today. We'll be back tomorrow to finish going through this thing, maybe put a different set of wheels and tires on it so it has a cool look. Bolt the door on and go from there. But thanks for watching. See you guys tomorrow. New friggin' day. So
new day, same smell.
it's not getting any better in here. I got a fair bit taken care of in a short amount of time. So I picked up a set of wheels. So I actually bought these a couple weeks ago. So they're powder coated 15, I think those are 15.6s with brand new Mickeys. And then I got some 15.7s, and these are actually old tires. These were on the 57 when we took the power tour. They've just been sitting outside, so they were full of ice and whatnot. We got those. So we're gonna put wheels and tires on this thing right away because that makes it breaks the car. I also, and oh yeah, when I bought those wheels, so I got the wheels powder coated, front tires, and dog dish caps. 600 bucks, well spent. This thing will look wicked. Now, I went and searched out what parts I had and did not have, and ordered some. So we were storing this stuff outside, but that's a fender. This is a skin, a quarter skin. Here there was some miscellaneous stuff. I picked up a couple outer wheel houses, had trunk drop downs, and this is like the front header that goes in front of the hood there. I thought I had a cowl hood in the basement, but I don't. And I talked to Josh, apparently it might still be at his place. There are doors downstairs though. And I think there's a deck lid, but maybe not. I gotta find that. So we'll have a lot of sheet metal. Now, I ordered a few things today. Some are gonna be, unfortunately, a little bit of time. I should have been a little further prepared. I've actually found a rocker replacement piece so I can patch that in. I was fighting out floor pans. I don't think they're bad enough to require a full floor pan. So I think we're just gonna go ahead and kind of repair what's there. It's all original stuff. I think it's probably better and honestly a whole lot less work. So we have that pan behind Danny. We have what's left here. So we can make some of that. Now, the parts that we didn't have was the trunk section. So they sell a multitude of trunk pieces. They have like a full drop-in trunk with mini tub, just sides, whatever it may be. I decided to just go for the centerpiece. It was 150 bucks. It really wasn't that much money. But that's probably about a week away. And then, so the wheel tubs, I pulled the trigger and bought wider wheel tubs. Instead of fixing the rust that's on the side of the wheel tubs, which I think they're just gonna be kind of ugly, I'm just gonna widen, like cut the floor out to 2 inches, put the bigger tub in there, that'll eliminate the rust, weld it in. The only modification will have to be done there is I'll have to move the shocks, but I'm sure I can just make like a shock bar or do something like that. So that's that, and then the other thing, which was kind of a big expense, but I think worth it, I bought full quarters. And those have to be shipped, and they're gonna be a couple of weeks. So we're not gonna be able to go full tilt on it, but here's my thinking. So the sill and the back of the door plate and all that was all rotten out. To get that replacement piece was $100. The other side's real bad, but like this section down here was $100. And like, you could make something, I guess, which I mean, you can always make something, but I think this car is nice enough not to require that. A full quarter will do the entire jam and have that whole piece. It'll join the sail panel, save me a bunch of body work, and it will have this whole section and join in the trunk, which on this side is all kind of rotten and been fixed before. So we'll eliminate that whole piece. And then the only bodywork we'll have to do is, I guess however it joins there, the sail panel, and then whatever we decide to do in the door jamb. So that'll save a bunch of work. I realized these were free, but gentle. The way these are gonna go on is something kind of like that. So it looks cool, but we're gonna have a seam the whole way, which would be a nightmare. Have to really watch your weld because it'll get all wavy, and then it's not, there's no front piece. So this whole section we'd have to make. So that's the direction I think we're gonna go. I'm gonna save money on the floor and use what we have and kind of go from there. I'll probably cut the quarters out and just text screw those on, or give it a couple tack welds just so it looks like a car, because that's how my brain works. But yeah, that's the plan. For the rest of this video, I'm gonna strip this thing down. We're gonna pull doors, pull fenders, pull hood, motor trans out, and then get it all stripped apart. I do have to see, the floors aren't bad there, but right under your toe board here, there's a big brace, which is actually attached to the firewall, and that's what bolts the front end and suspension together. The sheet metal guy had them in stock, but I think they were like 150 bucks a piece. So I didn't buy them, but I mean, if I need them, they're there. So all I gotta do is just make sure they're either okay or not. And if this is repairable, great. If not, I'll buy them, cut them off, weld them back on. So that's the plan for the day. Strip it all down, make it happen. But first, let's put wheels and tires on.
The best part about building a car.
Because that makes me happy.
Wheels and tires.
So I'm gonna clean up a little bit out here. We'll zip them on there, and it'll look good for about one video clip, and then completely blown apart for a while. Scene. Win. It is jacked up in the back. It's got like a just mullet machine. Oh, set of wheels and tires absolutely changed the look of this thing. I mean, you guys paid 2,500 bucks for it, right? I think I did okay. Oh, yeah. Now, unfortunately, this is, well, I don't want to say it's the most complete it's going to look for a while. I actually kind of like the patina on it. I'm sorry. But, I mean, it's so, the fender's rotten there, the bottom there, doors ungood, obviously quarters. So, it's gonna get some new bits and pieces. You know what, I'll peel the hood off. It's just sitting on there. We'll take that off. I'll show you the motor trans. What I wanna do with this video, hood off, fenders off. I assume the front clip and all that off, everything off. I just take the front clip off in one piece, convince Danny to come out and help me out. Zing the doors off, and then motor trans out. Strip this thing down to its bare bones. It's a drum brake car, nothing serious up front. And then decide what I want to go for parts. I was looking online. You can get like complete control arms super cheap, bushings are cheap, everything is cheap on this thing, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal. But let's get the hood off. I'll show you what we got under here. Nothing special, don't get too excited. Okay, hood's off. It's just sitting there, had an extra core support, it's kind of rusty and generic rad. I actually have an aluminum rad for one of these I bought off Facebook years ago. And, but yes, here's the mill. I mean, it's nothing special. It's your run of the mill. What are numbers on the back here? 397-0010, so that's super common stuff. I ran the tag on the block. It hasn't been milled off yet. It says it's a 1979 350. And it's got a set of, what are they? 434 heads. So nothing crazy. Obviously, it sat in the elements for quite some time. So we'll pull it out. We'll see if it's anything decent. Could be a good builder or whatever. I don't know what it has for a transmission. We're fixing to find out, I guess. But realistically, we should be able to just kind of chop the radiator lines, chop the transmission lines. Should be a few bolts and the whole front clip will come off. Again, I'm not overly concerned because it's all junk. What else we got going on there? Oh, the thing, I didn't notice it, but it's had all the heater core stuff deleted. Has no wiper motor. That's a little bit unfortunate. Like I said, power steering car. That's kind of cool. Manual brake setup. But yeah, overall, I mean, it is what it is. Beggars can't be choosers. This is Camaro, and like I said, they do make everything for it. I don't know what that 68 has for parts. We might scab some stuff off of that, or I might just be buying a few things. As you get later into the muscle car era, stuff does become a lot cheaper. This car was, kind of expensive to buy, but then parts become a lot cheaper. Tri-5s are expensive the whole way through. I can't believe how cheap stuff is already, and it's so much smaller. Wow. So yeah, we'll peel this thing apart and just kind of see what we got. Like I said, front clip off, doors off, motor trans out, and then so we want from there. I'd be interested to know if somebody was, making a race car out of this thing, or it was a race car, they're putting it back to the street, or who knows what. You can see right in there, these Camaros have there and one further back for where it secures to the subframe, and that little piece right here is the piece I was talking about, that if it's rotten, which it does look like it kind of is on that side. The floors go right over it on both sides, so you might be buying those. And now it's time to do it. And then, I mean, these things, the whole front subframe is literally 4 bolts. It's crazy. I remember doing that on my Nova, and that's it. We'll put subframe connectors on, I'm sure, make it a full frame car, and keep giving her. I always forget these subframe cars, but they are chintz. So chintz. Okay, let's set the camera set up and we'll see if we can get these fenders off. Well, the whole front clip off, I should say. Go from there. tore it apart. This is the door on the one side. I mean, it's all rotten. The other side was pretty much the same. The front clip, unfortunately, the bottoms of the fenders are pretty crunchy, but you know, such is life. The floor, I was looking at how it was installed. It's not terrible. It was lapped over, which I would prefer it wasn't, so I might fix that. I mean, really, if I just zip cut the weld, re-weld it, everything will kind of come out. It's fine, it's structural. I'm just a perfectionist, and you know, here at DD Speed Shop, we do nothing but the I don't know why it's in my head like that, but that's what I want. The lower of the mounts are definitely not great. This one's been fixed. I'm fighting if I should just buy them. I don't know if I'll change the whole thing or not. Like I said, they're a couple $100 for the pair. So we'll see about that. But otherwise, tow boards are decent. I mean, everything's good underneath. I was under there. I just unbolted the transmission. Cross member loosened it. We got the engine crane out. Dan's gonna come out and hold the camera. We pull the motor trans. Hopefully, that'll come out easy. Hopefully. Oh, looks like someone put the bolt in and then the fuel pump, so that's hassle. I take a fuel pump off, but whatever. The whole mesh should come out pretty easy. The steering was locked. I kind of worked back and forth. It's now steers. So we get that off. Then we can actually probably take the whole subframe right out of this thing. That'll probably be the next video. That'll be able to get in there, get the floors done nice, get just, you know, make it look pretty decent. But, oh look, there's Danny there. Oh, she's not camera ready. So she's gonna hold the camera here. I'm gonna get the engine crane set up and we'll yard this motor out real quick. And I think that's where we're getting it. I have made a heck of a mess. Ready? No. Are you getting the good shots?
Well, I'm worried about flipping.
Oh, the garage is super clean right now. Okay, so I'm just gonna hopefully yoink out this transmission cross member. What?
The thing I got you for transmission.
Well, I'm taking it all out together. How is this gonna work?
What's wrong?
This cross member appears though it's not gonna come out easily. Well, this is gonna be a
schmozzle?
well, not as delicate as I would have liked.
I'm not shocked.
Luckily, now this stuff is probably going to be a keeper. And I have a feeling this car's going to be a little on the ratty side anyways for some reason. Nope. Huh, this might be a situation. That transmission cross member not coming out. Let's see if we can hoist her up real cattywampus at the front leg.
That always sounds real great when you
You know what? They get what they pay for. Man, it's jammed right into the firewall. I'm gonna have to screw around with that cross member for a minute. What a hassle. All right, we'll be back momentarily. Need my tool.
We'll be here. You're just gonna hammer it out?
Yep. That's the plan. I don't remember this being an issue on my Nova, and I think it's all the same. Okay. Ooh, that is in there. Fixed. That probably sounded great on the camera.
I think they loved it. Well, it was either that or your heavy breathing, probably both.
Well, I haven't been that heavy yet, I don't think. I hope not. Instead of going to the gym, I pull out small block Chevrolets.
Exactly.
All good noises. Why is it lifting the car up? What's it jammed on?
Well, it's clearly still attached to something.
Oh, it's pouring transmission fluid out too.
Ooh, yeah, that's a lot of transmission blood.
All right.
Ah, shucks. Remember when this garage was new?
What's that?
Remember when this garage was new?
Yeah, before we moved in.
Yeah.
Is this thing off the ground? I really thought this would be like a quick little fun end of the video, but it's
Why would you think that? Have you never pulled a motor with yourself before?
I thought I nail it every time. Oh, now I've jammed my bar in there? Wow, we really got something happening. You know, I wish Mur was here.
We all wish Murray was here.
Whoops.
There's something else leaking under there too.
My pride. Why is it, this is craziness. I don't know what it's caught on. Oh, I see. It may just have to kind of figure itself out. There we go. Oh, that was crazy. We got her.
I don't know if they ever caught that, but that was a whole screwdriver. Ooh, there's a lot of leaking happening there. Is it a bucket?
I think we're past the time of bucket. I'm still cooling this thing. Someone lovingly cared for it. Wow, the transmission is bad though, eh? I try so mediocre all the time, mediocrely.
It just pulled up and down. Oh, sorry.
I don't want to dent anything. Man, I bet that transmission's still good. Fluid don't even look bad. What's caught on this? I'll just unhook that real quick. Oh, there's water coming out of something. Oh, it's out of the oil filter. Motor's probably junk then. Okay, not bad, not bad. Let's catch a couple of these drips there. It's kind of like,
You're not even, the bucket's not even under it in the slightest.
it's like I'm standing by my caught fish. What is a Camaro? Is a Camaro a horse? Or is it nothing?
Thanks. No. A car?
Get the last couple of drops in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get some
Absorball.
absorbent material Tamara. But there you are. And it's actually gonna come further apart. The whole front clip's gonna, on the next one, I think. We took a car that was pretty well together and probably had some value and
DD speed chopped it?
really DD speed chopped it, yeah. Ultimately though, I don't think we can go wrong. We're still in this thing pretty good. I don't know if I read the VIN before or whatever, but I did. Oh, firewall's all bashed. I didn't do it though. Still has paint on it. But this is like a 6-cylinder, nothing special car. Stick shift's kind of cool, has the pedals in it, but doesn't have the little Z-bar piece, the little knob. Oh well, anyways, there you are. Camaro, everyone's been asking for it, so I'd appreciate it if you'd like the video and comment below and tell a friend and all those things, because this is gonna be a lot of work, as per usual. So probably give her on this for a couple. Danielle's just taking pictures. We'll Given this probably a few videos to run out of parts, I should be able to get the front end together, put the floors in, maybe get the subframe back in, see how much all the pieces are, if I should rebuild the front end or if I should just buy new. I don't know. It's got drums. I don't know if the spindles are the same drum to disc. So that may be a situation. I'll do some research on that, which I'm sure you guys are all going to tell me in the comments right now, but it's days later and I probably figured it out, or not. And then we can put it back together. Like I said, I want to make this thing rust-free, kind of new metal in it, and then we can do a motor transmission at any time. That's super easy. And then the rear end, so it's got some sort of 10 bolt. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the right width or not. I still have that 12 bolt, which I was either going to put in a Tri-5 Chevy or a Nova or whatever, or a Camaro. And we have a 4-speed in the back. So a rowdy small block with a 4-speed and a 12 bolt, 373 gear. Kind of a cool car. Anyways, that's it for me. Thanks for watching, man. The oil pan's like blowing out. It's crazy. Thanks for watching. Subscribe below, leave a comment, all those things. And tell a friend to not do it this way. See you on the next one.